Welcome back to another episode on the Gold Room podcast. Today, lucky enough to have Erin Bell from CoConnect app.
Hello.
Erin, thank you very much for joining me.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So we actually met a couple of days ago at Diggers and Dealers.
Yes.
Pleasure meeting you. Thank you very much for agreeing to come on the show.
Yeah, and thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Not a problem. As you know, we always start with the life and the times. So take us back. Take us back to your early years.
Oh, yeah, so I guess fun fact, I was actually born in Kalgoorlie.
Were you? Awesome.
I was, so there you go.
My youngest son was born in Kalgoorlie Hospital as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
So did your schooling in Kalgoorlie?
No, moved to Perth when I was younger, so we were there for mostly mum's work. She was a nurse and I was an engineer for local government. So yes,
cool.
Moved there, but then moved away when I was about 3 or 4, but have been in Perth ever since. So... so I guess growing up, I guess for me, I've always loved people. So a big part of that was in the HR world. You spend most of your life at work and loving people. I think, you deserve to be safe and happy at work. So, that was a big part in that transition. Wasn't doing too well getting into mining, graduating in a recession in HR. So then did my postgrad in health and safety to try to move into it that way. Yes.
Cool. So who was the first mining company you worked for?
Rio Tinto.
Oh, was it? That's a bloody big move.
Yes.
That's an awesome company to get to jump in as your first mining company.
Yes, yeah, so that was good.
Any key takeaways for working with Rio Tinto?
I would say, definitely an amazing. I actually cried when I got my contract. I was so happy because it took me like 4 years trying to get into mining and applying.
And was that straight into HR or was it?
Health and safety.
Okay.
Yep. So, so I guess a big one with that was, I guess, feeling a little bit out of depth going there because I have terrible directional skills, hence creating an app, which was really self-serving with having a Google Maps approach for site things. Yep. But yeah, I guess just that whole walking around lost part, not really knowing anyone. I actually didn't go to dinner for the first few weeks because...
You didn't go to dinner?
No, I didn't want to sit by myself like an idiot. So
oh, no.
So there was, I guess, that and even just trying to remember, all the different acronyms, where to go, different departments.
Can be a bit daunting on a mine site, I suppose.
Yes.
For certain people at certain times, certainly those entry-level roles, first time on a mine site. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So definitely that. But yeah, I would then say, I guess, with working from there, I guess one of those key things is really just realising how little people actually get information and told about things when they don't have access to a computer.
Yep.
But even as well, just talking to others, saying, their careers weren't really progressing. They were staying doing the same role. And yet they didn't really move. And even if I hadn't been on the PC that much, even just trying to log on to one, in one of the crib huts, it's looking like around 20 minutes for all the profiles loading. So, I guess even trying to do sport and social events, it was only ever really office workers that did them. Yep. And again, coming down to that part where, people really don't get told that much, when they're not getting into it. Yeah.
So with your experience in HR, health and safety and emergency roles on site, were you part of an emergency response team?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Did ERT with each of the sites, companies I've worked for as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I was part of an ERT, Cert 3 ERT for many years. Then I stopped going once one of the ERT coordinators said you didn't need to be fit to be in the ERT team. I thought, well, that's not true. If you're on a BG4 and you're carrying a stretcher, you don't want to be unfit. When he said that, I was just like, no, I'm done with it. Anyway, this isn't about me. This is about you. So how, with all your experience in the mining industry, how did you come about making the decision to design an app? Designing an app's no easy task. So walk me through that.
Yeah, so I guess from there, a big part of my role I've always had is I've always ended up with tech projects and rolling out tech projects. For me, I do love tech and innovation because I love efficiency and I feel that's what really drives efficiency. So I guess from then going to a smaller mining operation, and I think just really seeing so many different software systems people try to bring in and they just miserably fail purely from that change management side or they just weren't catered to the end user, to the people. But then, it was working at another company where a big part of their safety process was based around the influencer model of change management.
Yep.
And I think talking through that and having to run inductions and having that, I guess it was really thinking, okay, what else can we actually do apart from safety to put this same process in place? And even seeing inductions, you would try to encourage people to go, you should probably write these numbers in your phone. And it's just crickets. Or as well, again, people just walking around lost, not knowing where to go, asking me where their room was. And I'm like, I have no idea. I'm the worst person you could possibly ask.
That lack of direction.
Yes. And even, looking at your medical episodes of, I think almost there's so many people I've spoken to that always have a story about someone that's died from, non-work related medical issues, but like heart attacks, stroke, aneurysms, etc., anaphylaxis, but they don't have the means to call for help and they just end up dying and then getting found later. So
yeah, that's not great.
But if you're a short-term contractor or a worker, well, you've got 60% of your workers are contractors, they're not going to add every contact into their phone. And I guess, the more I worked across different sites and went across different sites, especially with IT rollouts that I had, the more I found every site is different, every rule is different, and we wonder why we have so many people not staying or getting overwhelmed or anxious because they're constantly in a state of not knowing if they're going to do the right thing or the wrong thing. Yep. And they never see any of that information again after they do an induction. But they're
very true. Very true. How does CoConnect app bridge the communication and safety gap?
Yes, so with that, it basically acts as your all-in-one app in following the influencer model, in having different things that appeal to different people. You need a personal motivation to download an app, and that's kind of where we see, say, mental health apps, for example, well-intentioned, but people generally don't have that immediate need to download them because it's not solving an immediate problem. So from there, I guess on our part, we are an app that's used across site and cross company, kind of like how you would have Outlook. You can switch between your accounts based on where you've got an active account for. Yep. So from there, we basically have all of your simplified information, your communication, social events, sports, your roster, emergency processes, and then we've also got our personal duress feature as well. So that's our patented system where it will notify all your emergency response personnel and call emergency numbers. Those people can wayfind to where you are.
So have you used a third-party API system for that duress capability?
No, it's all custom built. So that's our patented system. So all of our development is done in Perth, in WA. We've got an amazing team that are defence certified as well. So that was a really big part of putting this together and needing to comply with cybersecurity.
That's fantastic.
Systems.
Can we go into? I think that duress function. Obviously, the rest of it's fantastic, but I do like the idea of the duress function. How does it work in an emergency?
Yep. So we also have we also have emergency comms as well. So all of our emergency notifications send out a SMS, WhatsApp message, have instructions, and we also link to the map locations of where people need to go and what they need to do instead as well. So it's one thing to say there's an emergency, but even people knowing exactly where they do need to be to find that help and knowing that it's actually going through to them instead of just relying on them clicking in the app, that is the other side, and also who they need to contact. Yep. So with duress, it actually used to be a 200-metre radius. That was our initial part until Google said no and blocked our ability to pull people's locations all the time. So if someone was to hit it, I guess that's one of the big – that is another key concept. So while there's duress apps out there, again, people usually – don't plan on having an emergency, so they're not going to download an emergency app.
That's right. St. John's, I think St. John's has an emergency duress.
It does, but a lot of your mine sites don't have custom mapping in that space.
For sure, yeah.
It's only addresses, so that's where we set ours up. We actually do a custom built map for the site and village, and it works offline. We have our image upload as well, where you might just, in the St. John's app, for example, you'll probably just see the desert. And someone's roughly somewhere.
And a random road.
Yes. So we have that. But also if you're not using that St. John's app every 3 months, your phone will actually deactivate the permissions and put it into deep sleep. So
wow, you're all over this. Wow,
yes.
I didn't know that either.
Whereas I guess with ours, the fact that, people care about the dinner menu, so they're more likely to download it to have something like that, or they're more likely to be using it on a regular basis. So then when they actually need these features to work, they will work. So from there, if they hit duress, it will send their location, name, phone number to all of their, I guess, what we set up, their listed emergency personnel, calls emergency numbers, and depending on their camera system, we can tie in with the camera system as well. So you can actually see where that situation is happening, and those people can wayfind to where that person is.
So beyond emergencies, CoConnect app also rolls out other health and safety benefits.
Yes.
Right. So what are they?
Yes, so we've got, I guess, another big part is around that simplified information access. So in part of our setup, we all take a policy or procedure and we simplify it into key points. So, for example, when you can use your phone, when you can't, what will happen if you do that? Or looking at critical hazard controls, what are your critical hazard controls that need to be in place? But yes, so I guess from there we have those, and then we've also started to, I guess from your psychosocial harm part, we do have grievance reporting, which is an encrypted system that sends it to where it needs to go. Again, there's where we look back at some of these issues with, sexual harassment, assault, bullying. People always haven't had a streamlined pathway to actually report that, or even knowing what it is they need to report. So, and who does it even go to? So that is one we cover. And then with one of our existing clients, they've actually helped us build out, or collaborated with us to build out our fully fledged emergency response version of the app. So it's a ERT app where they've got their ERT call out, all of their, I guess like a pocket guide of information, all their training, members, fitness.
Bloody important. I love it.
Fitness requirements, but also any new news and things that are coming through as well. So because things change all the time, product parts change, rules change, but it's how does that communication and change management process articulate? And then we have our health and safety reps version as well, which is a similar concept where you've got all of your pocket guide information to actually help your reps build up their own capability, any health and safety rep related information, comms, their training, committee minutes and so on too. So that's kind of where that part goes. But yeah, I guess a key part of that is really in that communication side on all levels, because it actually costs 10 times the amount of time and effort and spend to fix miscommunication than what it actually is to just communicate effectively in the first place. Which also helps mitigate a lot of your rumours and other issues that can come with that, or people just not doing the right thing purely because they haven't been told, or
which once again comes down to communication issues.
Yes, yeah. So I guess looking at, you'd probably even find internally most incidents that happen, there is always a communication element that seems to have been a critical breakdown.
What about in the way of hazard reporting and take fives? Just simple tasks that on a mine site, which currently is on a lot of sites, is just as paper forms, and then it needs to be input in by a supervisor or whoever it goes into. So you guys have something?
Yes, we do have those as well, but then I guess with ours you can also integrate your own system into.
Awesome.
Because we're quite big on people using what they already have and not having to add additional complexity. So that's why in ours you can add a hyperlink section, a document, iframe, etc. But then, we do have the ability for that. It actually sends it to who it needs to go to.
That's awesome.
Removes the need for, again, typing or people's handwriting that you can't write. And you can also add your geolocations to things as well.
Yeah, that's bloody awesome. So mining companies have, and I've worked for a few of them, where they have multiple sites, multiple joint ventures. How does CoConnect app go about switching between those sites and those businesses?
Yes, so a big part in our design part that we did see is where, again, we've seen tech uptake kind of fail, is where just due to the nature of how transient the workforce is and its contractor reliance, when a company seems to build an internal app, while well-intentioned, people aren't used to using an internal app. It's another thing they need to use, and if they haven't used it before, or they're only going to be on site for a few days, they're less likely to download it because, again, it's effort for something I may never use again.
I know a couple of old blokes that are not interested in downloading anything. As soon as you've got to put that authentication app into their phone, they're saying, well, they're not paying for my phone. I'm not putting that on my phone. So I get that.
Yep. Oh, exactly.
You're always going to come up with those issues.
That's it.
Technology
but I
for
guess,
some people is not the go.
Yes. But I guess the cool thing with that too is you think about the first mobile phone you had, those people were the same ones that also didn't even have a phone until everyone had a phone. And that's, I guess, how that technology adoption works, where you do have your technology adoption curve where you have your innovators, your higher uptakers, then you have the chasm where things usually fall off because people go, oh, well, it didn't work. Not everyone's using it, but that's usually just before your vast majority end up taking it on. Yep. You're still going to have your fax machine people sitting at the end, but it's also about, I guess, how we try to capture them. But yeah, so from there with site switching, so with ours based on sites they are active on, their mobile number is their login because people get emails wrong all the time, so that's basically their unique identifier. And then they can switch between sites and companies based on where they do have active access for. So we usually integrate with the site's HR system, so they have one source of truth. They're not having to maintain a separate system again.
Do you get pushback from mining companies' HR departments or mining companies for, and how are you proving that your system is secure? Do they obviously ask for that? That's paramount.
Yeah, so we have.
Side. Obviously, I didn't have this as a question, but I just thought about it. So
no, that's okay. So yeah,
explain away.
We've got a pretty rigorous cyber security process that we do follow. So as part of every onboard that we have done, there's always a pretty big cybersecurity and IT evaluation as well, which we need to constantly prove conformance to as well. So that is generally generally a big one. So with site switching, it is synced with their HR system, and it is a one-way pool, so people can't push back on data as well or change their own data in someone else's system. But yeah, basically from there, how the process would go when they're added into there, they get their text message or WhatsApp message, which is their login, and token-based login code, and then they have access there until basically they leave and they're removed from the system as well.
So it's up to the mining company to remove that person?
From their central HR system.
Yep. Okay.
So once they've put them as inactive, they no longer have their access. Yep. But we've also got kiosk modes as well, so we can set up tablets.
You're right.
Yeah, we basically do set up tablets too around high access areas, might be laundries or administration blocks or anything too, so people that really don't want to have it just don't have to have it.
Yep.
But it has actually...
I mean, everybody has a mobile phone.
Yes.
Everyone can download an app, you know, and all the functionality that you have, it makes sense.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing as well. Usually, in following that curve, people do eventually start to, I guess, move into it, where they start finding out that other people know things that they don't know. We actually say most of our help desk queries have come from contractors because they've used it on another site and they haven't been added into their next site's HR system yet. So, yes.
So, digital uptake on any site with any company can be challenging. What have you guys done to make things easier?
Yeah, so a big part of ours is that influencer model piece where we've really got a lot of personal use features in there that people are likely to use it for. But then we've also got we also have made it really, I guess we are probably also one of the first parts too that have really made an app for the end user to work offline. We have big fat buttons for fat finger stomping. And a lot of our text and gradients are that way deliberately, or even our app being designed to work on an older phone type because... Is
there any cutoff for any phones? iPhone 3 is not going to work anymore?
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as the phone is still able to work. But there is a lot of people that generally just have an older...
That was me.
Usually an older phone type.
I had an iPhone 7 up until last year.
Yes. So I guess that's really our key demographic, but also our compressed data caching and how that stores on their phone as well is very unique, even with that seamless switching side. But then, so we've also got, from a change management perspective, people on site are always flat out. So we do the full change management side for our sites where we set all of their content up. We run the communication strategy. We run through training. We do a content strategy plan, so everyone's aware of who's in charge of data, so it doesn't fall on one person's lap. So HR would be in charge of HR, safety is in charge of safety. We have an email integration as well to help streamline data in there, or you can schedule comms and things too. But yeah, so from there, we also then fly to site. We run engagement sessions, tell everyone about it, give out merch and have snacks and lollies because
Everyone loves that. Everyone loves merch on a mine site.
exactly, and everyone loves lollies.
You
and
have
a
the
class
best
party
merch.
vibe.
That was what one of the key takeaways from Diggers and Dealers was, and so many people mentioned it. They loved it. Your business card with these awesome little pins. People would walk past and say, "Oh, you've seen Erin. You've seen Erin." And I had this "You rock" as a rock. Oh, I loved it. Thanks for bringing this in for me today too.
Excellent. Oh yeah, sorry, I'll keep going with that. Yeah,
go.
So from there, we run, and then we run like a social event on site where we do like a quiz night or games or things like that. So then that way people are walking away feeling, that they've had a positive experience with the process, and also help them download it, put it on their app. We also do an engagement survey to see what are the things people are actually wanting to see and what is the feedback they're wanting, because a lot of the time this workforce is not surveyed because it's computer-based surveys. So it also helps shape.
Not everyone has access to a computer either.
No.
You know?
Yeah, and a lot don't even use them. So we have that, but then as well being able to give the company data and what are the things that the people are actually wanting to be seeing and looking at. It also helps build that, I guess, data or shape that data, but also for us when we do a follow-up survey, it lets us see, are we actually making a difference and are people's perceptions changing in key areas, especially around information access, safety, communication. And then we use that content strategy plan to follow up with our clients if we see things aren't getting put into the system that align with what that content plan is. Because usually then there could be a training gap, people just aren't as confident, but it actually keeps that continuation and change management process flowing because it's about building habit to using something new.
Many mining apps are a single feature. I've seen so many safety apps, and that's just for safety, just maybe emergency response. You've developed an all-in-one, haven't you? So what drove that, and why do you think that's the best way forward?
Yes, so originally a big part of actually so this originally started out as one app, thinking surely it can't be that hard to put Google Maps or like a wayfinding approach for site. Because looking at, again, that efficiency piece, how much efficiency is actually lost from people not knowing where to go. And I was actually trying to look for something that did a lot of this. I guess to the other side is, there's almost app fatigue where people have so many apps on their phone and they've all got a strange name that's nothing to do with what they are. And again, it's that piece that not everyone cares about the same thing. If you go to a buffet, not everyone is going to eat the same thing. So I guess from there it's around, it is more efficient to roll one app out instead of multiple different apps. You're going to have a higher uptake. And again, it's also that adding value piece. But if you've got one app that operates the same way in all of its different features and functions, then it's easier for people that aren't tech savvy to also use it and take it on. And again, having the one thing that they need to go to instead of a one-hit wonder that just does communication. And again, it comes down to that, how do we get people to put something on their personal phone when it's not forced by work and actually use it and be paying attention to it? Because if it's not something they care about, like even say office workers, like they're probably getting communication. I mean, a lot of people miss emails, but they've already got that. So what are the other things that they're going to care about that are really going to come through an app? And that's where those other pieces do come in.
Your app has already saved lives, hasn't it?
Yes.
It's reduced costs and it's replaced older legacy apps or software. Can you go into a bit of that? Where's it saved lives?
Yeah, so with our duress piece, we had someone who downloaded it for the dinner menu. Then they were stung by a bee and discovered at that time they were anaphylactic allergic to bees, because you can become allergic to bees.
I became allergic to crustaceans once I got to Kalgoorlie. Eating prawns in New Zealand, got to Kalgoorlie, surf and turf at the Albion Hotel, and suddenly, not major anaphylaxis, but tingly lips, sore, itchy throat, ulcers on the tongue. Wasn't enjoyable, but you can definitely develop it later on.
Yes. So this person, actually only downloaded the app for the dinner menu because everyone cares about dinner.
For
It's
sure.
actually our top looked at item on the app, funny enough. But someone was able to get to him within 1 minute. And
Within
that's-
1 minute
Yes.
with an EpiPen. So was it someone in safety or who was it?
It was an ERT member that was close by. So that's kind of the difference, and actually helped them get to the medical centre and get them help. So he didn't have an EpiPen on him, but was able to quickly help him, whereas that person usually would not be probably even able to make a phone call.
So he hits the duress. Someone from the ERT team can see his location and can go straight to him.
Wayfind to where they are, like Google Maps. So I guess that's the part. In life-threatening critical situations, people closest to you are often able to render you the best assistance. That can be the difference between life and death. So
download for a chicken snitty night. Make sure that you know that, what is it, Fish and Chip Friday or is it chicken snitty, whatever, and then save your life.
Yep.
What an awesome app.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, the difference that can actually make to someone.
Yeah, definitely. Looking ahead, how do you see CoConnect app rolling out to the current sites, any future developments, and also other mine sites? And what would you say to anybody on a mine site in any department about getting in contact with you and why they should get in contact with you to get you and your business on board?
Yeah, so currently we've just recently expanded out our driving journey management feature. So again, that all-in-one part, so you're not having to update multiple different systems. We also have our, connected community engagement side as well, which, because as we were finding with residential towns, with a lot of people using within that town, it actually has been really useful in even just having that local information from a council, but also the mine having a pathway to communicate to
Really? So like
local
road
residents.
closures and things like that?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
But even as well being able to engage and tell them about, what's even happening with the mine, because currently we see a lot of people using social media as their communication platform, where you basically just get, first you've got people that don't want to be on social media because of its link with digital addiction, whereas we are deliberately not a digitally addictive app because, we don't need to be. But then we've also got, misinformation spreading, people putting their 2 cents in. And a big part of that is really getting in the way of what companies are trying to do and the actual accurate information they're trying to get out there. So this gives a direct pathway to their key stakeholders and people that they need to know, but also, again, it adds value with that life-saving potential information around there, even from a traditional owner, culture and community side, with people even knowing who are the local people, what are the areas of significance and what are their customs. But yes, so we also have that, is probably our other very exciting part we're moving into. And
the other one, the last one, is what do you want mining companies to know and the reason behind getting your business on board with them?
yes, well, I guess a big part for us is it really is around that, how we are transforming the on-site experience for workers with the fact that they have a new level now. Well, you're creating digital inclusion for everyone, not just people that are behind a desk, which is something that has really a long time been needed. And I guess from there, it really is starting to have a really big benefit and make a difference for people. Even at Diggers, we did actually off cuff have some random comments when we were talking to someone. Someone actually said, I've actually got that app. It's the best thing ever.
Really cool.
Who was actually a contractor was going to different sites. So, so I'd say that one. But so I guess for getting in contact with us, just reaching out to myself or hello@coconnectapp.com.
Well, we're also going to put all of your contact information in the show notes. We're going to make it really easy for people to see your app and understand how to get in contact with you. The other thing that we'll get you to do is give us all media so we can show the actual working of the app through
Yes.
the episode. I think that would be awesome.
Oh, amazing.
Not a problem. Well, thank you very much for coming in and spending the time with me. We've covered some ground. Is there anything else that you think that you've left out?
We've won quite a few awards.
You've won awards?
Yes.
Okay, bloody hell. Why didn't you drop that on me?
I know, I probably should have. I'm not very good at talking myself up.
Go.
An HR person.
What are these awards? Tell me.
Yeah, so we what have we won? So we were a finalist for Innovator of the Year.
Awesome. With who? Innovator of the Year? With
So Jetsy, but Rio Tinto's sponsored Innovator of the Year side. We have won the best solution for health and safety risk with WHS Foundation.
Wow.
We actually won Emerging Innovation for Prop Tech Awards last week.
Yep. Well, congratulations last week. Wow.
What else we won? Emergency Response Award and WorkSafe Awards as well for Best Solution for Risk Management. There's a few others.
Well, if
I'll
that's...
send them through. Oh, and also
send
a
them
Global
through.
Smart... Yeah, we're also a top 50 finalists for Global Smart Cities program too.
Wow. Well, Erin, thank you very much. Once again, twice you got 2 thank yous from me, maybe 3.
Thank you.
It's been awesome learning about what you've built, what you and the team have built. Jodie's a hell of a bloody hoot, isn't she?
Yes.
I could definitely have a few more bevies with her in the future.
She is amazing. Yeah,
A little shout out to Jodes.
yes. No,
All right.
we have an amazing team.
Yeah,
So
awesome. Well, thank you very much for tuning into another episode on the Gold Room podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell.